Hi guys, it's Missy. Welcome to my channel and Nanowrimo day 12. This is my third time trying to do this video because on question 3 of the tag that I'm going to do, I ended up rambling for like 5 minutes in the first video that I did, and I don't want this to be like a 20-minute long video. So a quick update on my writing from yesterday. I ended up actually getting all of my writing done for the day, and I didn't think that I was going to. And I actually ended up using up my 10,000 word buffer that I had built up before NaNoWriMo started because I got sick, and I'm still sick right now. I've been kind of coughing, and my throat's been, honestly, my throat feels like the seventh circle of hell, if we're going to be completely honest. Not right now, but it did when I woke up, and for like a couple hours after that, it was horrible. But I was sick, and I ended up using up my entire buffer. I'm wearing my husband's shirt, and it's huge on me. I promise I don't go out of my house looking like a slob. This is how I am around the house, but I don't go outside looking like this. What was I even saying? Oh, I got sick, and I used up my entire buffer, and so I ended up falling a little bit behind, and then I caught up yesterday and then built back up another 500 word buffer, which is not enough, obviously. But I'm hoping to continuously, as I write every day, add to that buffer a little bit more so that if I get sick, I can at least take another day that I don't have to write and worry about falling behind. So the tag that I'm going to do today is the writing tag, which I saw Clara do on her channel, and I'll leave a link to her video down in the description. I really liked it. And I'm doing it mostly because I don't usually have anything to talk about, and I don't want to just be posting like 3-minute videos where all I'm doing is updating on NaNoWriMo, because then I won't have anything really leading up to keeping up with my channel after that. So today we're going to do the writing tag. So let's just get into it. The first question, also, I have my notebook again, so if I'm looking down, that's why. Question 1 is, what do you eat or drink while writing? I don't really tend to eat while I'm writing, but I do like to drink something. I think the brand is called American Clear. It's a type of sparkling water that doesn't taste bitter like La Croix does. I know that my mom likes to buy La Croix, and I think, at least when I drink it, it tastes super bitter to me, and I hate it. But American Clear tastes really, really good, and there's one flavor called Fuji Apple, I think, and it's like, it tastes fine room temperature, but if you drink it cold, it tastes exactly like taking a bite out of an apple, and it's the weirdest experience you'll ever have in your life, but like weird in like the best way, you know what I mean? Question 2 is, what do you listen to while writing? I've actually heard that a lot of writers like to listen to stuff that kind of matches the tone of what they're writing. So like if they're writing a sad scene, they like to listen to sad music. And I've tried this, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't work for me, and I don't know why, and it makes me so mad because it sounds like such a helpful tool. But what I like to listen to is acoustic music, or like sort of indie folk music. So I'm really into like Bon Iver or this one band called Good Little Giants. And I'm gonna try and see if I can put the link to my writing playlist on Spotify down in the description, and you guys can check it out if you'd like. And I'm constantly adding music to it. Some of the music that I have is just songs that I really, really like, that I add to it. I've got a couple dubstep songs in there, but just certain songs that for whatever reason help me to write, and I'm not really sure why, but whatever. Number 3 is, what is your biggest distraction while writing? And it used to be Facebook, but right now it's Twitter, just because I really like, it's just, Twitter is such a unique platform, and I didn't get into it until recently, but now I'm constantly checking in, interacting, with people, and updating on how my writing's going and stuff like that, and occasionally posting something passive-aggressive because I can't post passive-aggressive things anywhere else. But I have to get my passive-aggressive anger out somehow. No, I'm just kidding. But for real though. Um, Number 4 is, what is the worst thing that has happened to you while writing? I don't know. I don't think I've had that many bad experiences with writing. I would say probably in like I went into college early in a program called Running Start, and in one of my classes, it was an online class, and we would have these discussion questions, and we would have to write answers down, and usually it would only require a couple of sentences, but I would write huge paragraphs and like make sure that I thoroughly answered the question to make sure that I got the maximum amount of points. And sometimes my keypad would like click off of the box that I was writing in, and it would like make it so that I couldn't keep writing in the little box that I was writing in, and then I'd freaking screw up or whatever, and I'd type backspace, and it would click out of the page and delete everything I had written, and I would get so mad because it would take me a long time to write these answers, and I hate school and I hate doing schoolwork, so I would be super mad that I screwed it up or whatever. So I'd say that's probably the worst thing that's happened to me with something related to writing, but I've never really done anything like that with like stories that I've written, because from the beginning I've always been super careful. What is the best thing that has happened to you while writing? I don't know. I would just say that like the way that people react to my writing makes me really happy. Sometimes I don't really like to share it all that much. It's something that's really personal to me, but I used to write, it's kind of embarrassing. I used to write fan fiction all the time, and for whatever reason, people would really like it. Like, it wouldn't get, like, popular or anything, but, a lot of times when people would leave reviews, they'd be really nice. Or like when I would write essays, my teachers would say, oh, I don't even have to look at your name to know who's writing it. It's just like that always made me feel really good and really special. Not to sound egotistical or anything, because I'm totally not. I'm actually really insecure when it comes to my writing. But whenever people tell me that they like what I've written, it always makes me feel really good, especially as someone who aspires to be published one day. It's just really encouraging when people say, like, hey, I really, really liked this. I can't wait to see what you do next. That's just really cool for me. Number 6 is, who do you communicate with while writing? And the answer is no one, unless I'm on Twitter. Sometimes my husband, but I've found that actually, especially recently, if he interrupts me while writing, I'm always like, what do you want? Go away. Because I get so into the zone that if someone interrupts me, it's like they're totally breaking into my train of thought. And I'm like, what are you doing? Go away. I'm being productive. It's really hard for me to get to this point and you're ruining it. Get out of my face. And I've been pretty rude to, well, mostly my husband, because people don't generally interrupt me because I live with just my husband and I can just not look at my phone. But I actually have gotten really, really mean to him sometimes. And I always feel super bad about it and I have to go apologize. But like, I take getting into my zone very, very seriously. And when it gets interrupted, I get really upset about it. I'm probably have like little man syndrome. I'm very small, and so I tend to get angry very quickly, so that's probably what it is. I don't know why I said that. Whatever. Number 7 is secret to success and biggest writing flaw. I don't know about a secret to success. I guess I don't know. Have I even succeeded? If you're not published, have you succeeded? I don't know. I would say that for me, I mean, as far as success goes, just getting words down is to just like to not be a slogan or anything, but just do it. You know what I mean? like, I'm gonna rearrange myself, hold on. But for me, it really helps to try to make this so that it doesn't look like I'm like this all the time. There's my cat. Hi, Atticus. Hi. He's not into it. Okay, he's sleeping. But yeah, to just sit down and just get it done. And I found that if I keep just sitting down and just getting it done on a regular basis, then my writing progressively becomes better, which makes me feel better and spurs me on to keep going. And it's sort of like that cycle, and the cycle starts with just doing it. So that's how I succeed. And then my biggest writing flaw, this is something that I actually noticed when I started writing my novel for Nanowrimo, is I can't just say that my characters said something. I always add like a comma and verb ending with ing, blah, 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 that they're doing something. I can never just say, like, she said. Like, I have to say, like, she said loudly, comma, grabbing his wrist and pulling him down the hallway. Like that's just how I write, and I've found that a lot of my sentences are like that, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I know that it is very predictable, and I find predictable writing to be extremely obnoxious. So there's that. That'll all hopefully be fixed in editing, but I also don't want to, whatever. I don't want to edit in a passive voice, but I'll probably address that later on when I'm actually in the editing process a long time from now. Number 8 is, what do I use for inspiration and what makes me productive? So for inspiration, I actually have a Pinterest board for my novel that I can link down below in the description. But I also have a board on Pinterest called Mood, and it's basically like a mood board, like it's a play on words, like mood board on Pinterest, whatever. But when I want to get into a specific mood that makes me feel inspired for a scene, I'll go to that board and I'll find a little like aesthetic board, and I'll just like, it's gonna sound stupid, but I'll just stare at it like until I get the emotions that I want to be feeling when I write that scene, and then I'll get into it. But a lot of times my inspiration for my story now, even though it's not really it's related, but it's not even really similar, I would say, almost at all. Well, I don't know if that's true. I'm writing a fantasy heist, and it was inspired by Now You See Me Too, where they have, they're magicians, illusionists, and they do a heist. And I remember watching that and being, like, smacked in the face with this idea. So I would say that my inspiration comes from, like, other books and movies that I love, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I did this and this and this and this, and then I get into it, and then I start building it, and then it becomes my own, and that's really cool. And what makes me productive? When I wake up in the morning, I never really feel like I want to be productive for anything. So usually what happens is actually I have to envision that word. I have to see myself in my head doing the thing that I want to get done, and sort of, again, envision the process of that happening in my head. So I have to watch myself in my head, like, get up and go do the thing before I actually get up and go do the thing. And sometimes that requires seeing myself in my head do other things, like go make a cup of coffee or whatever. And I don't know why that helps me be productive, but for whatever reason it does. And maybe it's because I feel so satisfied after doing the thing that when I see myself doing it in my head and seeing how satisfied just thinking about it makes me feel, that it empowers me to get up and actually do it. Which is a really helpful tool when it comes to being depressed, because I do have a problem with being depressed and having really bad anxiety. But that's what helps me. What do you or other writers do that you find annoying? I really hate it. I don't remember if I said this in this video or the first one that I tried to film. I really hate it when people say that they're a writer, but they aren't really in it for the writing. They're in it for, like, the aesthetic, or they're in it for like the feeling of being able to say, like, oh, I'm a writer. But they don't really take their writing seriously, and they don't really want to pursue becoming a better writer and getting published and putting a piece of yourself out there for other people to read and critique. They're just in it for being able to say, I'm a writer. That really irritates me, because I've always been sort of an all or nothing person, and I'm basically like, you either do it and you get it done, or you don't do it at all. Which is super harsh. I'm actually a really harsh person, and I feel really bad about it, and I've been trying really hard to work on it, but I have seen people that are like, oh, I'm a writer, and then they think that they're super great when they don't even do anything that a writer does, and so I just I always get really like, whatever, which is not good. But yeah. And the final question is, are you willing to share something you've written? Maybe? I don't know. If you guys would like to see something that I've written, or to read something that I've written, let me know. I don't know that I'd be willing to share just yet any of the story for Nanowrimo that I've written so far, just because I'm not sure that I'm super happy with where it's at right now, and I want to be able to edit it at least once before sending it to someone to read over. But I do have a first chapter of a fan fiction that I wrote actually a couple years ago, but I was reading over it a couple weeks ago and was actually like, hey, that was really good. And I only ever posted the first chapter, and I never ended up writing any more of it, but I actually really liked how it went. And I was really proud of, like, my style with it and stuff. And I've thought about picking it back up and taking out the parts that are from the franchise that the fan fiction belongs to, and making it my own, because I like it so much. So I'd be willing to maybe let you guys look at that if you wanted to hear about it. Let me know in the description. This ended up being a super long video anyway, even though I didn't want it to be. Excuse me, I'm really tired. Not tired, sick. I don't know why I said tired. Probably because I'm always tired. But I'm going to let you guys go. If you've stuck around this far, thanks. I'm sorry that I wasted 20 minutes of your life. But give me a like and a comment, letting me know if you'd like to read some of my writing. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.